Good Tuesday morning, everybody. This is Grace, and in this video, I want to talk about putting ourselves up for risk of rejection or risk all around. And in it, I'm going to use an example of online dating. Okay, now, first of all, in life, we risk rejection. Okay, if we live long enough to, if you live, you might be rejected early in life by, let's say you're a kid in school and you want to be friends with somebody and they don't want to be friends with you. This is a natural part of life. When you're older and you go for a job interview, you risk being rejected. And the thing about it is you also risk having to reject somebody else too. So this is a normal part of life. Now, I think, this is my personal opinion, we run into problems when we put ourselves at risk for rejection constantly, very often, very, quickly, too much, let's just put it that way. Such as, I did a video about dating, online dating, dating websites, online dating. You're putting yourself up for rejection. Okay, you have a profile picture usually, and you talk about yourself, your life, your height, you give your basic stats, these kinds of things. And you risk just somebody, like a troll, just like when you do a video, a troll coming by and dropping you something hateful, an email. But when you actually go out on these kinds, this kind of date, especially if I used to call it practically speed dating. Of course, it wasn't speed dating, but it was, like the next step up from that. Meet somebody new once or twice, twice a week, whatever. You're putting yourself at that risk of being rejected and having to reject somebody else. And now, either way, it can hurt. Especially if you do it constantly, and you're constantly being judged and you're judging somebody, okay, especially those of us who experience narcissistic abuse, we see somebody, we check them out. That's a good thing, to check this person out as much as you can before then. And in person, you're looking for those red flags, and they might be looking for the red flags too, or they might be that kind of predator that's looking for what they can get from you. What kind of person are you? But this constant, or job interviews, if you do a bunch of job interviews back to back, you risk a lot of, rejection or not. And sometimes you get a job and you kind of wonder, why would they hire you? You have to reject them because you find out this is not a good place. And once you get there, you say, no, I don't, I've seen enough. So, okay. So, you put yourself up for a lot of that. And what is it doing to you? I mean, even as a strong person, having it back to back, so often, too many, that can still do something to you. You can have self-confidence, self-esteem, but allowing yourself to be put in that position repeatedly in a short period of time, my personal thought is it's not a good idea at all. It's constantly having your boundaries, your barriers, your boundaries, your natural ones, hit at, So, and that was, I was thinking about this because I was thinking about the online dating and all, and I personally think that the best way to date is in the natural world, not on, finding somebody online to go and meet, because it lacks community. And I know that a lot of people think, and I went through this myself, that having a community means people are getting into your business. Well, without that community means nobody's in your business. Nobody knows what's happening. You're putting yourself at risk because nobody knows this person or knows somebody who knows this person. There's no real accountability, to somebody else. So I think my personal opinion is don't do the online dating. I did it, and I can say I did a lot. And when you can say you did it a lot, you should have quit long before then. That's how I saw it. eventually. And I look back now and I was like, oh, just meeting somebody at a restaurant can be a danger because they might follow you back to your home when you leave. All kinds of things, it's a risk. Unfortunately, like these jobs these days, they don't want people to date on jobs, to date somebody else that works there. And we all understand why. There's so many, legal reasons and stuff. But at the same time, that would be like the best, place to meet somebody. Because if you had a background check, they had a background check, okay? And you have to meet certain standards or certain things. But it's just not meant to be. So how do you meet somebody? And I question that still to this day. How do you meet somebody in your natural world? Because it's basically what? When you're older, especially. But maybe it's that, your friends who are working and they know somebody who works with them. The old-fashioned fixer-upper kind of thing. Fix it up. Blind date, I think is what it's called, yeah. And so they know at least. Somebody knows this person because without it, like I said, it's putting a person at risk, their whole rejection and the whole bit of just physical danger, any kind of danger, any kind of abuse. So yeah, that was on my mind. Okay, that's enough for this one. I'll talk to y'all later.